Welcome back, everyone. Mr. Colin Lloyd. Here we are, Cardiff Red Dragon, champions of champions, 10-year anniversary, special day.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. Listen, this is a permanent on my calendar now. I love coming down here. The thing about it is, Phil, it's the old news of the world, and it's best of three. No one's safe. Best of three, mate. And if you go 1-0 down, oof. But no, it's great, mate. It's great. It's great to be involved again. Red Dragon put on a very special day here with the help of Worthington's with their sponsorship. Looking forward to a fun day ahead, and it's building up nice now. A good crowd out there so far.
Like you say, this is brutal. From pub to champion, the format doesn't change. Best of three all the way through. This separates the boys from the contenders, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, for me, Phil, the toughest thing would be getting through your pub, like your area, you know, because that's tough enough as it is. But then when you come walking in here, you start looking around, you think, oh, there's some tasty players here, you know. But listen, if you've got here, you've got a chance. You're in it. You can win it, you know. And there's 10,000 Scoobies at the end of the day. If you're good enough and your name's on that trophy. Someone's name is already on that trophy. They just don't know it yet.
How do you approach this? Because it's not like time when you go, okay, if I get a slow start, I can build into this. How mentally as a player, how do you have to approach this?
You've got to be ready, Phil. That sounds just rolls off the tongue. You've got to make sure you're ready. You know what time you're going to be on, or know roughly what time you're going to be on. You've just got to get yourself on the practice boards, get yourself in your own little zone. Get yourself there. There's a time for catching up with people who you may not have seen for a long time, meeting new people for the first time, but you're here for a reason. There's 10,000 reasons why you're here, and to be crowned, you know, the Red Dragon champion at the end of the day. You've just got to be very, very selfish and bloody minded. Don't be rude to anyone, but just go out there and just flick that switch, Phil. You've got to flick that switch.
Some big names on this trophy already, and for someone out there, they're going to add their name alongside some great names in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Clayton's on there, Gezi Price, Ryan Searle. Look what the three of them have gone on to do, you know. So this is a very, very big stepping stone. I mean, fair play, Nick Kenny. Nick Kenny won it last year. Nick Kenny's here back to defend his title. Personally, I don't think he will. That's what I'm saying right here, right now, because this is a tough one, Phil. Like you say, you can't build into this. You can't go think to yourself, right, I'm 3-0 down. If I can get 3-2 going into the break, no. You're not going to go 3-0 down. You're going to be 2-0 down. Then you're putting your darts away and you're going home. So it's very, very tough. But fair play, Nick hasn't looked back. Nick hasn't looked back from when he won this last year to winning his tour card to getting on the circuit. And listen, it's just a joy for him to come back as defending champion.
Would the elite struggle to win this?
Yes, it's tough. Because the elite aren't used to playing something like this. I'm not saying they're not good enough. Of course one of them could win it, Phil. But it would be extremely tough because they're not used to playing best of three. You know, no one's used to playing best of three. You don't play best of threes now, Phil, unless it's like a local league thing. This is, in some ways, you can take this as a local league thing through qualifying. Then when you actually step through the doors out there, you think to yourself, ooh, this is quite tasty this now, because you see all the other players that have won through a best of three in their areas. It would be extremely tough for them. Extremely tough for them. It'd be interesting to see, funnily enough, mate, if you had a chat with Johnny Clayton and you had a chat with Gezi and Ryan Searle to say, would you fancy yourselves walking in here, even the players of today that are here today, would you fancy yourself being one of the last runners? If they were brutally honest, they'd go, well, we'd just have to wait and see. They'd fancy themselves, but they wouldn't want to say they fancy themselves because you can crash and burn.
Would you like to see a PDC event played under these conditions with the elite going at it over best of three?
Yeah. Fast and furious. Yeah, this is something, Phil. If you had the 128 tour card holders, you could probably play this in a huge hall with a big crowd, 2 stages. 2 big stages at either end of the room. It's just a constant flow. Have the crowd in. The crowd love it. I think the crowd would love it. I think this could definitely work. Do you think it could work?
100%. I would love to see it.
Could. But someone would say, "Oh, it's a lot though to squeeze in, or it's like squeeze." We've got 256 in here. Or yes, you've got like the 28 boards and the main stage board and whatever. But I think if you kept it flowing, best of threes don't take long, Phil. Everybody's going to be
pop, 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 pop.
It's going to be pop, 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 like you say. You've got to make sure you're ready. If you're not ready and all of a sudden you're called up, and the thing about it is, Phil, for me, why I say two big main stages, you want to see the big guns on the big stages. Doesn't matter that it's board 1 or board 2, both the stages are the same size, the throw's the same distance, get on with it. And then you'll be like that. As a fan of darts, Phil, still be like, which one do I watch? Which one do I watch? And you can watch everyone, and you watch the throw tighten up where they've gone 1-0 down, and you think to yourself, you can't help but think it as well, Phil. If I lose the next one, I'm out. And then do you say we only pay out to 32?
I like it.
But listen, I think it will. I think it'd be great. I think also, Phil, I think it would be great on TV. I think people might say, "Oh, it's too much like a UK Open." No, it's nothing like a UK Open, because it's not best of 11, and then first to 10 and first to 11 come semis and finals and whatever. It's best of 3 all the way through, and it would be quick fire. I would say, Phil, I'm going to stick my neck out. I'd say it'd be all over and done with. 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, start it. First game start midday. I reckon we're all done by tea time. We'll have a champion by tea time.
Well, we've seen the PDC bring back the Winmore World Masters with obviously the help of Winmore. Could we bring back the News of the World?
Why not?
And these tournaments, the fans still remember them. They're still nostalgia to these tournaments. I remember the reaction when the news of the Winmore World Masters broke. So could we bring back the News of the World in that massive format with the PDC players?
I mean, obviously it wouldn't be called the News of the World, because obviously we haven't got the News of the World paper anymore. But there's no reason why the PDC couldn't bring that tournament back. The great thing about the PDC, the Professional Darts Corporation, Phil, is that they are a huge company. They're a huge business, and they're forever pushing. They're forever pushing to make the game bigger, better, prize money bigger and better. They're really spreading their wings now around the world. Loads of other different things have been set up. You've got the JDC, you've got the academies, you've got everything. Darts, Phil, is absolutely massive. It's massive, and people are jumping on it. And I think if the PDC were to sit down and have a little meeting, I'd love to be in on that meeting, by the way, just to give my tuppence worth. It worked for all those years, Phil. It just so happens with the demise of certain organisations or whatever that we sadly lost the News of the World. But I think the Professional Darts Corporation are big enough, more than capable of, and powerful enough, and the contacts they have, there wouldn't be a problem with sponsorships or anything like that. The prize money, I think, would be really good. There's no reason why they couldn't bring it back. And I, for one, would go, Matt Porter, Eddie Hearn, have a little sit down and a chat, bring it back. Because I think it would be good as well, Phil. And the nice thing about it is those players, and my God, Phil, we've got some class players in the world of darts at the minute, but those class players at a best of 3, someone who's decent, who sat down the rankings,
could win it easily.
They could win it easily, yeah. And if it goes towards their ranking, if they did rank it, someone would turn around and say, you can't really rank it. And then, Phil, you've got these are all the arguments that I see happening. Do you open it up to the whole of Britain again? Do you keep it as a closed shop as the 128? Do you keep it as the 128? And do you break it down as where you'll have playoffs? Do you have a ladies one as well? A women's News of the World, we're going to say, or a women's best of 3? Can you have a development tour best of 3? A challenge tour best of 3? A JDC best of 3? The options are endless, Phil. I'd like to see it. I suppose it's just a case, mate, of watch this space, isn't it, really? I mean, it'd be great if it did, but listen, let's just enjoy today, and hopefully everything runs smoothly, and we get a great champion at the end of it.
We touched on the great players that we have in the world. Obviously, as a pro, this is where the season really starts now, isn't it? The holidays are done.
Yeah.
The World Series events are over. Starting this week, we've got Pro Tours back again.
Yeah.
Then we've got Euro Tours galore, TV majors. This is the time that they have to be sharp.
Yeah, holiday period, like you say, holiday period's over now. For those players that, excuse me, for those players that unfortunately didn't qualify for like the match play and everything, they've had a longer period of time to reflect on, their first half of the season. And if they feel that they haven't performed that first half of the season, hopefully they've worked hard and they've knuckled down a little bit, ready for the bang that goes off Monday and Tuesday when the first Pro Tours are back. The ladies have had a little bit of time off. They'll be starting today. There's Women's Series today and tomorrow down in Milton Keynes. I think they've got 97 entries, which is good. And there's some players that are coming back. Dee Headland's playing in her first one for a long time. So I think a lot of these players, whichever tour you're on, Phil, I think they're realising what the Professional Darts Corporation are trying to do and where they're trying to push the game. And if you want to be a part of it, you've got to practice, mate, and you've got to make sure you're ready. If you practice hard and you work hard, your game's going to be there somewhere, and then it's all on you. It's down to you. You can't keep feeling sorry for yourself. If you're not ready and you're not sharp enough today and tomorrow, where the ladies' tour is concerned, if you're not ready and sharp enough come Monday and Tuesday, where the Pro Tours are starting off again, you need to seriously have a look at yourself. I'm not being detrimental to those players, far from it, but you have to be ready. Time waits for no one, Phil. Time waits for no one, and the world of darts doesn't wait for anyone. You have to be sharp. You have to be ready. You'll learn from it, Phil, the hard work you put in. The harder work you put in, the rewards will get better and they will get bigger.
Two names that spring to mind straight away, Michael Smith and Nathan Aspinall, both at the wrong end of the rankings for where they believe that they should be.
Yeah.
Do both of them get back to where they belong in that top echelons of those rankings?
I think Nathan Aspinall does. Quite simply because Nathan only dropped because of
the match play.
The match play, the money he was defending, it was huge. I mean, I think he's in everything else, Phil, for the rest of the year. And 2 years ago, he never really had runs in anything. So he's going to be on a bonus for that. I do worry for Michael. Michael is a class player, Michael Smith. I'm not going to take that away from him. He has been, and possibly still is, one of the most frightening players out there. But he's got these niggling little injuries, and niggles become big things. I hope in the period that he's had off, Phil, I've read, I can only go by what I've seen, little snippets on social media and whatever. I think he's tried to address some of these issues, the problems that he's got his hand with his arm and everything, and I wish him the very best, because if he's got that all sorted out, there's no doubt in his talent. There's no doubt in his talent whatsoever, and he will push back up the rankings. He's too good not to, Phil. But if he's still got these niggles, and those niggles play funny tricks on your mind, Phil, and instead of focusing on who you are and what you know you can be, your brain starts playing tricks with you and you start looking for excuses before you've even gone up there and done anything. I'm not saying that's what he's going to do, but like I say, that's sometimes your brain doesn't tell things to your hand and your arm, and your arm sends back mixed signals. So, excuse me, like I say, hopefully he's where he's had this period of time. Unfortunately, he wasn't at the match play. Excuse me. But hopefully he's had that time now to reflect, sort his stuff out. He's had a little bit of a holiday and a break with the missus and the kids, and now it's time to go back to work. It's time to go back to work.
Do you think the ranking needs changing? Because you touched on what Nathan Aspinall there, that it's not reflective of what's happening here and now. It's almost 2 years but behind. Now, look, if you'd have said 2 years ago Nathan Aspinall was where he is, people would have gone, that's probably about right due to the injuries he had and so on.
Yeah.
Is it time that we look at this and the rankings need to reflect more of what's going on here and now than 2 years down the line?
Maybe it is, Phil. You're probably right. Maybe it is, but that system, that 2-year system, has been in place now for umpteen years. Umpteen years. You know full well if you win a big one, you win the match play. Luke Littler knows in 2 years' time, he's got to defend that. He's got to defend that money. It's a process where it was a point system at one time, then it went to a money list. It's a 2-year rollover system. That place has been in for a good while now. If they do look at it, Phil, it's not something that can be changed overnight. It has to be done over a period of time. How they do that, I'm very pleased to say that I don't have to get involved in any of that. But like you say, it does seem as though, if you're a player and you're in really good form, or you were in really good form back then, and like now you're sort of like a little bit, or you're playing better now, it seems like you're getting punished both ways.
I'd say you don't get the benefits of that until miles down the line.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm going to be a little bit ruthless and a little bit cutthroat here, Phil. You know the system. You know how the system works. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that's the way the system is. You know that going into each and every single event. You know if you win a Pro Tour event, whoever wins the Pro Tour event on Monday, they know in 2 years' time, around this sort of date, they've got to defend that money. Whoever wins it Tuesday, same for them. When the Grand Prix comes up, in 2 years' time,
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. I'm perhaps not the right person to ask these sort of questions, but listen, these are the sort of questions. I don't think, Phil, that the PDC don't look at these things. I think they do look at these things, and they want to try and make it fair for everyone. They want to try and make it fair for everyone. Now, when you get certain players that are creaming it, and they get such a big lead, and you're getting the same familiar faces, I'm talking about like the Premier League here, you're getting the same thing over and over and over and over again. The people that I've chatted to, some people switch off because they're bored of it, they're sick of it, they're just watching the same thing every other week. I don't know how they can change that system or the qualifying criteria of it. Obviously, you've got to have the best 4 players, or the top 4 players in the rankings. You've got to have them in it. Do we bring back like a 2-tier system where people drop in and drop out and whatever? But then again, you've got to look at filming, Phil. You've got to look at you only get X amount of time on a Thursday night. And maybe you can't fit in those extra games. Do we go back to, Phil, I'm asking you this, if you just pick the top 8 players in the world, there's no wild cards, do you just pick the top 8 in the rankings? You know that you've got to be in the top 8 if you want to be in the Premier League. Do you pick the top 8 or do you pick the top 10?
I've got a caveat to that, and I've said this before.
Okay.
I like the golf system.
Okay.
The race for the FedEx Cup, the race to Dubai.
Yeah.
The PDC put X amount of events.
Yep.
However many that may be, and they can be Pro Tours, Euro Tours, and whatever.
Yeah.
And after that cut off, those 8 or 10, they're your Premier League.
I like it. You're adamant with that as well,
Love
Phil,
it.
aren't you?
Love it.
I'll tell you what, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. You could do, I suppose, in some ways.
There's a separate race going on then. There's a separate focus on.
Yeah.
Oh, he might get in the Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I'm just saying this out loud for you. You could go down the system with the 2 people from the majors, 2 people from the Euro Tour, 2 people from the Pro Tour, 2 people from the World Series. The list is endless. Yeah. Like you say, or you just do it pro rata or whatever. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well done, Phil. I actually quite like that. Not very often.
Not very often.
No, that's not a bad idea, though. That's not a bad idea. But like you say, it's some players are going to need to give themselves a kick up the bum. They know who they are, and some people are just riding the crest of a wave at the minute. All I will say, Phil, is darts is in a very, very good place. I know people say it's not all about prize money. It's not all about prize money. You can earn a great living from darts these days. If you're good enough, you can earn the money. Don't think you can just turn up though. Don't think if you get a cue card that you've made it, because you haven't. Because yes, you've got a cue card. Now the hard work really begins, because you've got to try and keep hold of that cue card for the next 2 years, and you've got to try and qualify for Euro Tours. You want to get into the majors on TV. You want to be in everything. So do the hard work and you will be rewarded. Not just financially, you will be rewarding yourself because all your hard work is paying off.
Jaws, absolute pleasure catching up with you here in Cardiff, mate. Thank you very much as always.
Thanks very much. Cheers, buddy.